catch. I think run after catch is what we're going to get a lot tonight. Andy is an accurate quarterback. You can get the ball to him, but they're not going to take a lot of risks. They're not going to take a lot of shots down the field. They're going to turn the ball around, and hand the ball off to Mark Ingram, to Alvin Kamara to control this clock and give themselves a chance to win.
They're going to need Taysom Hill to get involved because this offense works through him. When he's on the field, they seem to find a way to score. And I think for really what they're going to do with Andy, being careful, they're going to need big plays from Olave and Taysom Hill to be able to win this game.
We talked earlier, Taysom Hill, when he scores a touchdown, they are 28-6. What does that tell you? Give him the ball.
So far this year. We will see you guys at halftime. Al, Kirk, and Haley are next. Enjoy the game.
Week 7 begins at State Farm Stadium, Glendale, Arizona, home of the Arizona Cardinals, where Kyler Murray tries to get his team back on track, taking on Alvin Kamara and the New Orleans Saints on Thursday Night Football. Al Michaels along with Kurt Street. Both teams come in with records of 2 and 4. The silver lining is each is only one game out of first in their respective divisions. Now, for the Cardinals, home cooking has made this team nauseous. Somehow, some way, they've lost 8 consecutive games in their home stadium. Begging the question,
8 games at home. God
You're right.
damn.
And the biggest thing they have to do is try to get off to
Get
a
it
fast
right.
start. They've been outscored 41-3 in the first quarter, playing catch-up.
Get it right.
Almost every single game. And the second thing is, find DeAndre Hopkins early. He's
Who
back.
gonna win?
We've heard about him in the pregame show. Get him the ball early and often.
Y'all tell me who's gonna win.
Yeah, that is huge. Now, as far as the Saints are concerned,
Choose the poll. Tell me who y'all think gonna win. I really don't.
I think the biggest thing defensively is
My team also.
they've given up more big plays.
I'm not really sure who's gonna win the game.
Kyler Murray and his offense has been struggling. Drive the length of the field to be able to move. Offensively,
Hold on, y'all. Give me a second.
Make it up a big.
How it all plays out tonight with the roof open. Great night, perfect night in Glendale, Arizona.
Kick off when we come back.
On Thursday Night Football.
Be right back.
A moment too soon. Here comes all-pro wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. Last season, Hopkins suffered injuries to his hamstring and knee. He's on the field for only 10 games. Then in the offseason, he was suspended for violating the league's performance-enhancing drug policy. That cost him the first 6 games of this year. Hopkins just returned to practice this Tuesday, and tonight he told me, "You see all those 10s in the stands? We're here to see greatness, and I'm here to give it to him." Arizona's also suiting up the newly acquired Robbie Anderson, who was asked to leave the field Sunday after he got in multiple arguments with the Carolina Panthers receivers coach. The Cardinals traded for him on Monday, and he will have a small package of plays tonight.
And they'll need him because they have so many impactful injuries. Connor, Brown, Pugh, Hudson, Gardeck, Prater, the kicker, all out tonight. Meanwhile, no sympathy from the Saints. They're minus their own half dozen. Thomas and Landry and Pete. Troutman, Lattimore, that's huge. And Adebo, the starting corner. So with that short deck, maybe about 48, 49 cards in it. Dennis Allen, first season as the Saints head coach. After Sean Payton stepped aside following 16 years at the helm, and in his 4th year, in Arizona. Cliff Kingsbury, of course, his pedigree is offense. That offense has been stagnant, so he's getting a little bit of heat in the Arizona desert right now. See if he can turn it around.
And visiting with him yesterday, you can feel that energy. I just talked to him. I think he's feeling the pressure. Short week, a lot of injuries. Obviously, Duke Hopkins coming back. Hopefully, will get their offense going to get Kyler Murray going.
Talked about the injury to Raiders of Rodrigo Blankenship, who started the season with Indianapolis. Shaheed, whose first touch in the NFL last week was a 44-yard end around for a touchdown. He's back to receive the kickoff. Arizona won the toss and deferred. And the Saints will come out and take over at the 25-yard line with Andy Dalton. So Dalton, again, making another start here. Winston not quite ready to play. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. The rating is a little above the league average. He's going to play it a lot more conservatively than with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and I think he's taking care of the football. That's the biggest difference from where they were early in the year with Jameis in his 3 games. He had the 5 interceptions. It's a team that wants to run the ball, set up play action. And tonight, try to be conservative and smart. Don't turn it over.
Winston will be the emergency quarterback. If Dalton got hurt, they put Hill in the game next. You're going to see Hill on against quarterback anyway. Meanwhile, a 6-yard gain starts things. Jawan Johnson will be the starting tight end tonight because Adam Troutman is out. 8 of 6 there, second down and 4.
Johnson, a former receiver, started at Penn State, went over to Oregon, has moved now to tight end in the NFL. He gives you a really good tight end with a great catch radius and knows what to do with the ball in his hands.
Kamara, the running back, runs 3 receivers and then break that. Give it to Kamara. Big hole. He exploits it as he normally does. Good, tough running as he normally does. Out to the 50-yard line tackle there by Buda Baker. So off he goes for a gain of 18.
Watch the push here from the middle and the right guard, Ruiz. Just kind of pushed this down. Nice, good vision on the backside. You even saw the block there by Smith 10. Just kind of sealed it and opened it up. If you're a Saints fan, how nice is it to see Alvin Kamara with room to run? Sets up, again, every aspect of what they want to do with this offense.
Give it to him again. A little bit of traffic here. And gets the ball into Arizona territory to the 48-yard line. Lawrence makes the stop. There's Vance Joseph's done a very nice job as the Cardinals' defensive coordinator this season. 2 years as the head coach at Denver. And then came here, and there's an opportunity, I think, down the line. Maybe he's been interviewed for head coaching positions. He could get the top job somewhere again.
I agree with you. He's a very impressive reputation. Of course, came up with Wade Phillips. Spent some time with Marvin Lewis. Loves to attack.
We'll hear from Jerome Boulder.
False start. Offense, number 71. The penalty, still second down.
And Ram checked the right tackle.
Badger against Badger, 2 great ones. Ramczyk against J.J. Watt, pretty familiar with each other. And, just with this offense, exactly what they want is rhythm, running the football, little setback here. See if they can overcome that, pick up the first down.
Mark Ingram is the running back on 2nd and 11. Play action. Bolton hangs in the pocket. Dalton going for it all.
Oh! The Saints with the touchdown early. Touchdown Saints, like 70-yard catch.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Now he catches a 53-yard touchdown pass.
53 yards.
2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yo, Dalton put that shit on the money.
Crosser right here. Watch how the safety opens up the middle. He goes with Olave. Heck of a throw by Andy Dalton. Gets back, puts it out in front of Rashid where he can run underneath it and pulls away from Marco Wilson.
Touchdown Cardinals, bro.
Coverage. Gets the safety out of the way. Really well.
Touchdown Saints.
Pete Carmichael.
Rashid with the 52-yard touchdown.
Bill Lutz.
Extra point good.
Extra point. So the Saints, who have not been getting off to good starts.
All right, we're coming back out of this break, guys.
desert, the valley of the sun, outside the
sir.
field. So we talked about slow starts, and Arizona, as Kirk mentioned at the top, outscored 41-3, now 48-3 in the first quarter of the season.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they respond. This is a team offensively that's felt pressure because of the hole they dug themselves into. Now they're down 7.
His kickoff into the end zone. Mexico comes out. Very uneven, inconsistent start for him this season. Total TDs, rushing and passing 8, 4 picks. The rating is below the league average, and he's got to get going. He's the first guy that says, "Hey, we have to find consistency." Coach Cliff Kingsbury says we have to stay on schedule, meaning they can't get into those 3rd and 10s. Eno Benjamin is the running back. He takes it with his college ball at Arizona's feet down the road. Gets 7 off the block that time from DJ Humphrey.
You know, with Murray, I think it's just a matter of letting it rip. And, you know, he's going to eventually, such a playmaker, he's eventually going to find it. But early in this year, he's just holding on to the ball a little bit too long in a lot of throws.
Up tempo, no huddle, under pressure, scrambles. You can do that extremely well.
Oh, cut.
And nice
Oh.
And into Saints territory goes Rondale Moore.
Nice
So
catch,
Moore
boy.
tackled there by Taylor. Off and running for 30.
Bartlett moving.
Thursday Night Football. What do we
I know what's happening here. And Moore's a guy that I think college football fans are waiting to explode. Went to Purdue, very elusive, very powerful. Good job of keeping this play alive. Stays in sync with Moore. And Moore really reminded me of a Jalen Waddle type, but even stronger in his lower half. Like a 500-pound squat kind of guy. But he's had a lot of injuries. They haven't been able to get him going. That is a heck of a way to start this game for number 4.
Folks, the law of averages is kicking in. No more 7-3 games for you.
Right.
Pray. Murray side roads it. Falling down was Benjamin. Started to fall down. There's a flag coming in. Benjamin gets just about back to the line of scrimmage. Over made by Jerome Boger.
Billy Price making a first start.
He knows we'll play downfield. Offense, number 76.
What? Nigga, speed.
That penalty decline, 2nd down.
Cliff Kingsbury, he calls the plays. Was brought to Arizona, the offensive guru. Great success in college. Coached Pat Mahomes, you may have heard of him, at Texas Tech. Now to the playoffs last year, they were 7-0 at the start last year, but faded down the stretch, went to the wild card game, lost to the Rams. 2nd and 10. Murray fires, caught just shy of the 30-yard line. That's DeAndre Hopkins. So Hopkins makes his first catch since last season.
What?
And the crowd salutes him.
Just his presence. You know, they only had a couple walkthroughs this week, but he's not been able to practice with that suspension. And as they said, just seeing him out at practice has lifted the spirits up of their offense, and they're hoping he can do more than provide a spark tonight to get this offense going.
Third and 5. Murray down the sideline. A lot of hand fighting going on here.
No flag.
For a flag, there is none. That's Alante Taylor, a rookie, back there with Hopkins. You got the rookie on a guy who is on his way maybe to the Hall of Fame, and now, nope, still no flag.
You're talking about a guy, as you say, is a rookie, but a ton of confidence out of Tennessee, ready 4.36 at the combine, so he can run, and he's got length. You can see Hopkins kind of pulling himself. He's actually pulling Taylor a little bit with the hand on the jersey, so it's a clean play.
Here's Blankenship now, just signed a kicker to try to kick a 50-yarder, and Blankenship.
Oh, he made it. He made that.
Early in the season.
7-3, bro. We coming back after the break. Stay tuned.
Scores
be feeling good. And you look at these last 3 starts. Look at the NFL rank in those 3 weeks. Points per game. They're running the football obviously much better, putting them in better situations on third down, and most importantly, 1 interception in those 3 games compared to the 5 in the first 3 weeks with Jameis Winston.
And Winston in a uniform tonight, but would only be used in an emergency situation. As I said earlier, if something happened to Dalton, you'd see Hill in there. They want to use him in all kinds of positions, but he would probably come in to supplant Dalton as the kick goes through the end zone. And they take it over at the 25-yard line.
And the best thing they did in that first series, they ran the football, and then they did a really good job of getting the ball out. Even here, play action, great protection, and then you got the safety takes the crosser, and then there's a heck of a throw by Andy Dalton. If Andy Dalton drops back, takes 1 hitch, knows where to go with the ball, and he threw such a good deep ball, and just put that ball out in front of Shahidi for a touchdown. He's thinking, man, this game's pretty easy.
Meanwhile, here's Hill. Hill comes in at quarterback, plays tight end. Dalton is also in the game out at the top of the screen, so they can go a lot of different ways here, but the Cardinals are equal to that task. As Tanner Vallejo is right here to take down Mark Ingram behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Stack that line, able to win up front, get penetration.
And meanwhile, that's Rashard Lawrence. Plays in the middle on that defensive line, who is down for the Cardinals.
Got it.
Actually,
About to have an injury.
not the penetration. He's been dealing with a broken hand and trying to play through it last week.
Somebody down for the Cardinals right now.
Very effective interior player. Watch him right over the center, just able to shoot through the guard. Throckmorton, who's in as a starter for Pete.
He even had hand surgery.
Yeah,
He is now, they're working on him right now. We'll step away for a moment.
All right, we'll be back after the break, guys. Stay tuned.
That's going to be a good one. Meanwhile, you've got the cart that came out for Rashard Lawrence. He was down, so he'll get a ride back to the locker room. He's out. Meanwhile, earlier, while we're in commercial, another cart took Bradley Roby back to the locker room. The right shoe is off. As you can see, and we're going to show you how Roby got hurt here.
Yeah, Al, this was the last injury this Saints defense could afford. Already banged up in the secondary up on Rondale Moore, just steps on his foot, goes down, and right away grabs his lower leg and then gets parted off. So Dennis Allen's got to be thinking about, okay, what are we going to do here on the back end of this defense?
Coming down shortly, Lucky Fotu comes in, replacing Lawrence. 2nd and 11. Dalton on play action throws. That is incomplete at midfield, intended for Chris Olave, who was last week's game with a concussion. Number 1 pick out of Ohio State, incomplete, 3rd down and 11.
Olave, it's good to see him back. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry still out. Olave is going to have to make some plays tonight. We already saw Shaheed downfield. Now this is what they wanted to avoid against a Vance Joseph defense. He's 3rd and long, so they can create a lot of confusion up front.
Dalton, flushed out, eyes downfield, finds his man
Right,
at the
first down.
41-yard line,
Saints.
and that's Olave making the grab there, so they convert on 3rd and 11, first down.
This
I
is
said
a
it
heck of
first.
a job by Olave. Watch his route in man-to-man coverage. And as his quarterback gets into trouble, he's trying to run around across the middle. He wants to go here, recognizes this, and then works back to find that open spot, working with Dalton.
Ooh, good
Really
move.
well done by the rookie there. to
That
stay
boy,
in
nice.
sight of Dalton as he scrambles on that big 3rd down.
Kamara back in, running back. His 3rd carry,
Uh-oh, Kamara
shifts gears,
got about 6 yards.
and turns what might have been no gain into a 6-yard gain. So Kamara, of course, he's been great over his first 5 years. Pro Bowl, a lot of touchdowns. He and Henry the most in the league over that period of time. Yet this season, Kamara does not have a touchdown. But next Thursday night, we'll get him into the end zone.
We're going to get in there tonight. He's 27 years old.
Yeah, touchdown. Y'all know that nigga the ball.
They're so good. They start to drop off. I don't think that's the case at all with Kamara. He just needs some help, and I think he's starting to get it. He looks good so far.
And a great receiver as well. You've got Wayne Washington in the backfield now. The direct snap is taken by Taysom Hill, and he comes close to picking up the first down. So they had Washington in, they had Hill in there as well. Changing it up in the backfield, we'll see if he picked up the first or not.
Vance Joseph defense, they told us, when 7's in, instantly IDing him, not just a quarterback, anywhere he might be lined up, just a quarterback power. He makes a numbers advantage with Hill in there. Remember, he can throw the ball. He threw the ball for quite a few yards when he was at BYU. He knows how to throw it.
3rd and 1, put a fullback in the game. Kamara, the running back, give it to the up back. And taking it to the 15 forward progress should get Ingram, who had lined up as the up back, a first down, and it does.
It was such a wrinkle for this offense because like right now, he's in there with Andy Dalton. You never know when the potential of what he might do. Pete Carmichael does a fantastic job of utilizing him with his skill set now all the way at the bottom of the screen.
Now, Hill is in the game, but this time he lines up as a wideout. He's at the bottom, snap, and a whistle before the snap.
Offense,
Number
number
7.
76. Josh Hurley,
Senior boy.
first down.
It's Calvin Throckmorton.
Senior.
Take a look at Hill. 200 pass attempts, 200 carries, 30 catches in NFL history. Those names, first of all, they go all the way back except for Cordell Stewart to before the 1955 season. We'll talk about Charlie Trippier later. And Cordell Stewart, he was the guy, remember they called him Slash. Well, this guy is Slash Plus. That's good as a tight end, but plays all over the place.
Ball hot.
Catches made here.
It's the rookie again.
25-yard line goes
Got like 7 yards.
As we reach the halfway mark and beyond in the first quarter, meanwhile, you've got Marco Wilson, the corner,
Oh my God.
who's down on one.
That's 3 people. Right, every time you turn around.
Five.
Yo, football is so damn. Look at my Cardinals with the big hat.
Work on it, and season approaching the halfway mark. it's never do or die
Right.
in October. But you know what? Somebody's going to come out of here 3-4 and feel a lot better than themselves than the team that comes out of here 2-5.
Yeah, and you get caught up in a record sometimes 5 or 6 weeks in. You start to look up in the standings, they came out. But it is, I think, an emphasis, especially with the nice rest on the back end. You get a win tonight, maybe creates a little bit of momentum into your season.
Meanwhile, you got 3 receivers stacked to the right. You got Hill throwing it to Kamara.
Oh,
There's
first
some
down.
blocking. Very nicely designed play. And that one had a first down. David Collins makes the tackle out there.
Now, Taysom Hill can run this. If the defense aligns in a certain way where they're going to be way out to the receivers, he'll run. It's a power play that's called. Instead, the Cardinals don't adjust to that stacked look, so he just flips it out there with 2 blockers in front of Kamara. So another well-designed play, a nice wrinkle there with Hill to give him that option.
At the 38-yard line. Ball handed off and stuffed in the backfield of Kamara. Tackle is made there by Zach Allen. We're having a very good season.
I don't want to jinx him, but Andy Dalton signed with the Saints to be the backup to Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston gets hurt, has the interceptions, comes in, and it's almost like he has just settled this offense down. It's a calming presence that you sense watching him execute. You're seeing it again tonight for the 4th straight week.
Offense has not been the issue for these guys.
His beard is
Last couple of weeks, 2nd down and 12.
orange.
Dalton with that, as soon as he throws, but gets it away and it's caught. A short game here by Ingram. J.J. Watt almost getting to Andy for the sack. 3rd and 9.
Boy, he was so close, one-on-one with Hurst. Blindside of Dalton. And again, Dalton kind of sensing this internal clock. He knows 99's close to him. These guys go all the way back to playing in a Rose Bowl game, TCU, Wisconsin, and they played so often in the NFL, the Texans and the Bengals. So I think he knows when 99's getting close.
Third down and 9. 4-man rush. Dalton fires.
Bro, the rookie is going off.
So Robbie again. Having a heck of a series here. Robbie is now caught 3 for 40 yards.
Another 3rd down, and a good job of protecting Andy Dalton on this 3rd down. Sometimes they'll give you exotics, only rush 4. But look at that. Just find the soft spot. Dalton throws him in to that hole in the zone. And I'll tell you, for a young receiver, it's nice to see Dalton and Olave, who missed last week, in such rhythm, only playing a few games together.
Saints 3 out of 3 on 3rd down. 1st and 10 here. Kamara's back in. Alvin. Off he goes again, and that's an 11-yard pickup for Kamara to the 11-yard line. He just put Lewis Kidd in the game. He placed it Throckmorton, and he led the way with a block.
A nice double team in the middle with McCoy, the center, Ruiz, the right guard. Watch how they work in sync and then climb up to that 2nd level. Beautiful work by the big offensive line. It's hard to single out one guy on this Saints offensive line. It's refreshing to see 5 guys working as one. As the backup Barney start tonight, Throckmorton's on the sideline.
Right. That was Kidd who came in, helping to lead the way. Meanwhile, you got Kamara inside the 10-yard line. Alvin to the 7. So this drive right now, you've got 13 plays having been run. You talk about balance, 7 runs, 6 passes, and a 2nd down and 6.
Doug Marone, the offensive line coach, just has these guys working. You know, our first 5-6 weeks, we've seen offensive line play. We've had some injuries, and it's like they're still trying to build the continuity. This one really stands out because of how they work together.
Most teams having problems. It starts up front.
No doubt.
With makeshift offensive lines. A whole bunch of teams are going to ask about that. 2nd and 6. And in the backfield coming through, Buda Baker. Buda Baker, who's been a key factor, a star ever since his rookie season, now in his 6th year out of Washington.
This is one way to slow down an offensive line. You outnumber them, and then you have one of the best safeties and run support in the National Football League come up and take Kamara out before he can even have a chance. Boy, he's fun to watch. I mean, he's all over the field for this defense, the heart and soul.
This drive has consumed over 8.5 minutes. This is play number 15 on the 3rd and 8. Rush 4. Dalton.
Picked off in the end zone.
Antonio Hamilton, who takes a knee.
Damn, I hate when people turn the ball over on the goal line.
So the Saints run.
Ah, dog, bro, we're taking a break.
Around 7 years in the league. This is his 77th game. That was his first interception. This is a guy who got burned in a grease fire in his kitchen, missed the first 4 games of the season, came back and is playing in his 3rd game, and makes the pick here after a 15-play drive.
He's faced a lot of adversity and overcome it, put himself in a position. We've been bragging about Andy Dalton, his decision-making, and here it's a poor decision on 3rd down. Tries to force it, gets a little greedy, tight coverage there, even with the safety coming over. Great job by Hamilton undercutting that. Only thing you could do there is check it down to Olave in the right flat.
Now Murray and company. Ballard keeps it himself.
Oh,
Off
shit.
he goes.
Murray.
For a gain of 18 before he steps out of bounds. Beecham throwing a block to Springham, first down.
That's the challenge with Cliff Kingsbury's offense. They spread you all over the field, sideline to sideline, create a lot of space, and then you also have to worry about the quarterback, obviously, with the design run game, especially with a big right tackle out in front of him.
From the 37 on first down. Blitz coming.
Ooh! Ooh!
Benjamin.
Killing me. Go.
The 30, forced out of bounds at the 20.
Cardinals with a 40-yard gain.
So Benjamin, with a touch of running backs out, he gets the start and off he goes to 45.
Yeah,
To the
good.
right, creates a lot of attention from the defense. Watch the left tackle. Humphreys times it up perfectly. And good patience by Benjamin. Now, they're down to backs because of the injuries to Connor and Darrell Williams, but Benjamin has great quickness and showed patience that time before he explodes through that hole.
Good. On the 20-yard line. 19 all on.
He'll be third on the depth chart.
Handoff. Oh, say handoff. Murray. Murray got
Gets to settle for a 1 yard gain.
2 yards.
Second and long.
This is where they need to execute better. The first couple of weeks of the season, flawless. 6 of 7 in this area in the red zone with touchdowns. In the last 4 weeks, 3 of 11 when they have gotten down in this area. So with Hopkins back, how much better will this be? Because if they're going to win tonight, they're going to have to score touchdowns, obviously. They can't settle for field goals. It was a disaster last week.
Or block punch, recovery zone for touchdowns. This was their only touchdown last week in Seattle. Keontae Ingram is now in the game of running back. He flares out. He takes the toss. Then gets tackled at about the line of scrimmage by Pete Werner. And that takes us to the second quarter. After 1 in Arizona. Saints 7. Cards 3.
Taking a break. We'll be back after the break, guys.
Your defense to slow them down.
Yeah, that was a huge play by him. He was out the first couple weeks, so good to see him back. And just try to slow down tomorrow. He's a great back, and we got to try to bottle him out.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Daly. That was moments ago. He said we need completions. It's 3rd and 10. And Robbie Anderson just picked up from Carolina in the game to the right side on a 3rd and 10. Murray in the pocket. Rush him out. He'll keep it.
Ooh, Murray.
Murray sets up a 1st and goal.
Murray for the first.
Dangerous. And you think you get him close.
And the underneath coverage locks up with
Can the Saints hold him? Can the Saints defense hold him?
If you don't get to him with that front, then he's going to have running lanes. Little twists up front. And if you don't get him, you're not able to corral him on 3rd down, especially. Linebackers are on these running backs. Give him way too much room to be a threat and they pick up that first down.
Got anything frustrated defense more than that?
That's it right there.
11 yards on a 3rd and 10. First and goal now at the 7-yard line.
They better score, bro.
Benjamin is the back.
Oh, God.
Not for one.
Get hit, boy.
Pete Werner right there. Werner in his second year out of Ohio State, kind of an unsung guy having that great year.
Yeah, second year. It's like he's taken that big step. The light's gone off, replacing Quan Alexander in his defense. And watch how he not only is able to shoot a gap, watch him bounce off of a tight end block there and still be able to get into that backfield. You know, he is a big athletic guy. Did a lot at Ohio State in college. They asked him to play out on the slot, play in the box. So he's got great versatility, just kind of coming into his own now. And he's still Dennis Allen defense in year 2.
Hey, go to Hobbs, bro.
Second and goal.
Go to Hobbs, please.
And Kyler Murray looked at that defense and decided he was going to take.
Oh, God.
Timeout, Arizona.
So
Their first
Arizona 3 points
30-second timeout.
in the first quarter, equaling their total first quarter points over the first 6 games.
Come on, man. That's the goal line,
This
bro.
team has been playing from behind.
Do what you just did.
Cliff Kingsbury, and again tonight down 7-3. See what they can do with this red zone opportunity. But again, they're trying to dig themselves out and try to regain the lead.
Second down and goal.
Do something. Do something, defense.
Murray hangs in there.
Oh, he dropped it.
At the 6-yard line.
3rd and goal.
Hold on. And we go to 3rd down and goal.
Saints doing a good job of taking care of their corners. Bradley Roby, who came in tonight for Marshawn Lattimore, he's out of the game. So you're dealing with a lot of backups back there.
Don't take a field
So
goal
far,
right
the rookie Taylor has
Don't
held
take
up
the field
very
goal.
well. Harris on the other side, who's
Man, the
been
ball
practice squad
like
guy
7
until
minutes.
last week. A
5
veteran.
minutes.
Yeah, Chris in his 12th year, been around a long time.
And that defense got to step up.
Adding some stability to that secondary, which is a mess right now.
Ball up.
Lost
Ball. Oh, bobble.
Hold on to the bat. He's juggling in the end
He
zone.
bobbled the ball, so they got to go for the field goal.
On top of everything in the end zone.
He
So that's
bobbled
Ron
it.
Delmore, who's 5'7", did a lot of stuff at Purdue. You got Alante Taylor has been all over the place tonight. The rookie
They better settle for the field goal and just get on about it.
Offense, number 4.
Oh, they call pass interference.
Decline, result of the play. 4th down.
He got him at the top of the route with a little push off with the left
You couldn't get the
arm.
ball.
Taylor, in fact, as soon as he got up, raised his arms
Listen,
to
that bobble
say,
ball.
hey, he pushed off. I need to call, and he got it.
He did. Or juggled it anyway before he stayed in. So here comes Blankenship now. Made a 50-yarder. And this one from 28. Amy Lee, the punter, to hold it. And Blankenship is 2.
Hey, they got the field goal. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back after the break, guys.
Yeah.
in the Valley of the Sun. Temperature in the mid 80s.
Your old stomping grounds back in the day, right?
Many, Arizona State years.
Yeah.
Let's go with Charlie Taylor in the Hall of Fame, of course.
Fantastic.
He's a great running back. Reggie Jackson was there at that time.
Wow.
He's a pretty good
How
baseball
great,
player.
how great, oh yeah, of course. How good was he in college?
You know what? He also played football. He was a pretty good cornerback.
Built
Yo,
good
your hair
football.
is
Oh,
so
yeah.
ugly.
Forget about baseball. Reggie might have been able to play in the NFL at some
Okay.
point.
Of course, Barry Bonds wasn't bad.
Not too terrible. Monday, Salvando, off we go. And we'll start from the 25-yard line. Back to the last play.
Yeah, just something to keep an eye on. Remember, Duke Hopkins is one of the best receivers in the league, but still working his way back. Third year in the system, crucial third down. They need a touchdown in the red zone, and he looks over to Kyler Murray like, hey, I don't know if I got the call. I'm not sure what's going on here. And it forces Murray to have to work the other side and make an adjustment to try to get the ball to Moore. So something to watch, just that rhythm and continuity. You can see him communicating there to try to work things out.
Sooner or later.
Hopkins is a
Ingram
beast.
is the running back.
Hopkins is a beast.
And still in the game, sets up on the wing. With a space there, the 5-yard pickup. Second down there. 5.
This offense has been in sync for the most part, other than the mistake by Andy Dalton the last time they were out with the interception. But their plan tonight, like it always has been, going back to the Drew Brees era and Sean Payton, run the football, play action, ball out quickly, screen game. And you got Dalton up to the
72%
top.
say the
It's
Saints are
still-
winning. 72%.
Bill will take the snap
Oh, yeah.
and run it.
Mm.
It's not fun.
How important is it for him to get the ball?
Because look how far it's running.
You, and
Now it's running.
No one's-
For me, when I'm
You come on, no.
that's happening, you see it within the division. That being said, we've got DeAndre Hopkins coming back, and Kyler is going to play much better with DeAndre. We're adding Robbie,
Yeah, chill out.
bring some life to their offense.
And we've got another
Sure.
off-hander for sure. Hey, like I said, Call of Duty.
To riveting.
Murray
You know what?
throws. Interception. Are you kidding me?
look at that separation, just a shallow cross, and then the speed by the former first rounder out of West Virginia to run away from people.
Make sure he stayed in. Here's the look right here. So far, so good.
No, he stepped out.
That's good. Yep.
Hey,
He
Little bit of
stepped
green
out.
there.
He stepped out
And
right
Arizona
there.
may be
Yeah.
wanting to challenge this. Well,
Yeah.
there it is. That angle a little bit different.
You see the white? Come up, bro.
Look,
Look at the white grass. Come on.
looks like there's a little bit of green.
Right?
Arizona is challenging the rule of the field that the runner did not step out of bounds.
Terry,
He
let's
stepped
call these
out of
with the line.
bounds.
What do you think? See, well, Terry,
His
I
big
want
part
you
is
to rehearse your lines here. We'll go to a commercial.
or
and you
he's
tell
out.
us.
All right, we on the break. He's out.
was active last week, back to the practice squad again, gets activated today. Doesn't have a catch of the year. How happy is he?
The Bears fans are saying, where were you when we needed you?
Right. It just goes to show you, with Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry down, others have had to
The
step
Saints
up
in the
and they
school.
have.
First and going out from the 3-yard line. Amara in the backfield. Taken down line of scrimmage. J.J. Watt, in his 12th season in the league. What a career he has had. It's been beset by a lot of injuries in recent times.
But physical, still explosive, able, especially down in this area. You better get down into these inside gaps because he knows how to shoot them as well as anybody.
Come on, man. Saints.
10.5 to go.
3-yard line. What you gonna do? Professional
Caught by
football.
Hill.
Oh,
and
touchdown.
He will barrel his way into the end zone. Dalton to Hill.
Y'all might be right, but the Saints might win.
In for the score. They go 5 plays, 75 yards. Of course, the big 64-yarder to White. And the Saints up 13.
There you
So
go.
the extra point time.
Good kill, bro.
Play call by, again, Pete Carmichael. Has Juwan Johnson out there. Traquan
That dude right
Smith,
there, man,
6'2", 210 as a receiver.
17.
An outstanding blocker in front of Taysom Hill.
Lutz for the point after. I'll tell you, Carmichael in his 14th season as the Saints offensive
Yeah, we're going on break, guys.
Sean Payton.
Saints up 14-6.
A heck of a game tonight.
Hill a chance.
225 yards already for New Orleans. 113 for Arizona. I keep thinking about that old, Vince Lombardi film where he's on the sideline saying, "What the hell's going on out there?"
Yeah. Nice to see offense.
Yeah.
For our production, this is a lot of fun.
14-6. So the Cardinals trailing by 8. Will get the ball at the 25-yard line. Kaylee, what you got?
Al, you guys broke down the number of times Daniel's productivity this season. He's been doing all of that with a really painful injury. He cracked 2 ribs and displaced another in training camp. Then, against Tampa Bay, he cracked one of those ribs again in a different place. He told me he's been getting numbing medicine in his ribs before the last few games and did it again tonight. But barreling into that end zone doesn't seem to be bothering him.
Man, oh man,
What else can you add to the story? I got a couple of cracked ribs. Just ice through it.
He sells beignets after the game in New Orleans. First down from the 25-yard line. All right, that's out of the pistol. And Keontae Ingram going nowhere. 2nd and 1. So many injuries to the Saints corners with Debo out and Lattimore out. Alante Taylor, there he is. So the rookies had a big part. Harris has been around a long time. Broncos with the Chargers. And Justin Evans is seeing some action. JT Gray has been in there as well. 2nd and 10. Murray. Over the top. Back to the races. Tackles. And takes it.
That nigga broke like 8 times.
Down at the 50-yard line by Carl Granderson.
And because of what we're talking about, you've got 2 safeties back there to avoid the shots downfield against those corners. So what does Murray have to do? Run the ball, which we saw the last
1 tackle,
and throw
2 tackle, 3 tackle, 4 tackle.
That's what you have to do. And Ingram, a powerful
he brought like
guy
5
who makes
tackles.
Evans miss. Remember, the Saints a tough time tackling Cincinnati last week, especially Jamar Chase, and it shows up there on that play.
Ingram, 6'9".
Come on, man. Hit Hopkins 1 time.
His college career at Southern California. First
Come on,
and 10
Murray.
from the 49-yard line. trying to get around the outside, enough to take the ball into Saints territory for a gain of about 3. Benjamin.
Something wrong with him.
That is a
Hopkins been
huge
out for 6
story
games.
tonight. There,
Benching.
Debo comes in not playing. Lattimore comes in not playing.
That's their best player
Brody
off.
out. So you take your top 3 corners out. Chris Harris is a veteran, has played a lot of great football, but he's a guy that's been on the practice squad for most of this year, and there he is starting with a rookie on the other side. That's why they're forced to take care of him with the safeties behind
Go
him.
to Hopkins, bro, please.
Drop 2nd and 7 to the
Thank
outside. Open, making the grab there. Is Hopkins. So they
Thank
get him
you.
involved here. He beats Justin Evans.
That's so
Turns
right.
it to the outside. And that's a gain of 18 to the
I'm
New
so
Orleans
right.
30.
That's a
Do
great
it again,
job by
bro. You're not
Cliff
even tired.
Kingsbury.
Do it again.
See Taylor 27.
He
was
got
up,
open
bringing
so
it to the
fast.
inside.
Do it again.
Now it's a mismatch against Justin Evans. Look at that separation.
Oh,
If he
Hopkins
stays
is deep.
wide, he's dealing with Taylor, who's equipped to stay with him with a 4-3-40. Motion him inside, create a matchup against that nickelback,
Again.
and he can win it every time.
Get him hot.
But a couple. Murray is 6 of 9 for 77.
I'll do it again. I'm sorry.
Less than 8 to play in the
Seriously,
first
I'll do it
half.
again. Oh, come on.
To the outside, but nothing happening there. Goes Keontae and Jordan. Trying to burnish what will be a
Let me see if they go
Hall of
for
Fame
it.
resume this postseason.
Big, is he physical, able to get upfield against Bisham, forces the ball to go
Nope.
back to the inside, and on the other side, Davenport kind of cleans it up right there. The tandem. Great
Hey.
job, the one arm, keep that outside shoulder and hand free, and then clamps down on it. He's known as a great pass rusher, but over his career, great against the run.
Oh, man. Come on, bro. Why they playing with me?
Story.
Cardinals going nowhere.
Jordan. He gets drafted by New Orleans, and then Cleveland drafts Jordan Cameron. Same year, the 4th round, and the Cleveland PR department called this Jordan. Right, they called Cameron Jordan. They get Jordan.
And now after 12 years, we all know.
I think so.
We got it figured out.
3rd and 10. Murray, look out. Down he goes. Pressure coming up the middle. You got a
Told you,
flag
bro.
on it. David Onyemata is the
Cardinals
first
are
guy
going
in
nowhere.
there. Jerome Boger will tell us the rest of the story. Cardinals are indicating it's against the Saints.
Hold it. Defense.
Just
Number 30.
Ow!
Y'all put it automatic first time.
Justin Evans.
Remember, he got matched up against Nuke Hopkins earlier and got beat. Here he is again, one-on-one, and a big 3rd down with that pressure from Davis, the linebacker. He just tackles him at the line of scrimmage. That's one way to stop Nuke Hopkins, is tackle him. Don't let him run his route.
So first down at the 25-yard line. Four in motion.
Thank you.
On the outside, trying to spring free and picking up 6
God
yards.
damn, keep throwing the ball to Hopkins, bro.
There by Chris Harris.
This feels like they're just starting to find their rhythm. Remember, they have not thrown the football together in practice all year because of the suspension. Trying to work with him this year. They've played together now in their 3rd year, but just coming out game speed. Cliff Kingsbury trying to find ways to get him settled into the game. Luke Hopkins telling him, hey man, play me as often as you can and give me the football. They are now starting to kind of find that rhythm.
On 2nd and 3. Picking up that first down. It's tough running here. Benjamin. Tackled by Davenport. We go back to Kaylee.
Well, Al, the Cardinals are moving the ball behind an O-line that's missing their starting left guard, Max Garcia. We're told he's questionable to return with a shoulder injury. In his place, there's Cody Ford. This is his first time on the field since week 1. He's been on the IR ever since after an ankle injury in that game.
Yeah, they're also missing Justin Pugh, who may be out for the year with an injury. So, mix and match, as so many teams have had to do up front. From the 13-yard line. Oh, that doesn't fool anybody. In particular, number 90, the former Kansas City Chief tunnel passing yard. It'll be second down and 14.
He's actually reading 90 passing yard. Watch this. It feels like he's going to take the back. And I think he fooled Kyler Murray into thinking he was going to go with Ingram, but instead he shows that, and then bang, he brings his head back down and his momentum back down and completely catches Kyler Murray by surprise. That's a great play.
10th play of the drive. The outside. Caught. Hopkins started to slip as he made the grab.
You got to keep throwing the ball to Hopkins, bro.
Keep his feet.
You have to.
Broken away from
That's
attack.
all you got.
18 million times. His career, it'll be 3rd and 7.
It gives this offense a chance at third down. Remember Cliff Kingsbury last week. They struggled in the red zone and decided, we had opportunities to kick field goals. We decided not to, even though the analytics said maybe to do so. Had issues last week, and even now, tonight, still got to have that mentality of putting touchdowns on the board down here.
You look for the tight end, Ertz, and he hasn't put it.
Yeah, I'm good there.
3rd and 7. That's caught, but shy of a first down. Speaking of Ertz, people are going to think it's on tape delay, and I made that call.
Good call.
It's 4th and 1, and he's going to send in a play right now. No more field goals.
Yeah, they need touchdowns. This is an area that's a major problem the last 4 games.
Dennis Allen. His pedigree is defense. We'll pull the coverage. According to our next gen stats powered by AWS. Chance of converting a run 26%, passing 36%. Meanwhile, a timeout will be taken.
Be back after the break.
A timeout taken by the Saints. What you think, man? What's your call here? Call the play. What do you think?
Well, obviously you got to give Murray the chance to run or throw based on their look. I mean, he's a tailback to me on this possession, on this play. And if they give you the numbers running.
They were the real numbers now. We give you fake numbers. Now here are the real numbers. Run 69%, pass 56%. Whatever, we'll find out. Here we go. 4th and 1.
That's a long run.
Benjamin is the back. They get the hand. There goes Marty swinging to the outside. And he should have a first down. He does. Reaches out. Needed 1.5 yards or so and got what he needed. 1st and goal.
He also picked up a great block by Humphreys, the left tackle, who gets out in front. Just talked about using him as a tailback here. Enough of the defenders on this formation are inside, so instead of trying to fight between the tackles, get him out on the perimeter. Good block right there by Humphreys, and he, just to be sure, he gets the ball in the right hand to get it across the line.
1st and goal. They've been here before. Again out of the pistol. The timeout is taken here. So 2:32. And Murray barking his way over to the
Calm the
side.
fuck down.
Murray had a lot of energy last
God
week
damn.
against Seattle, where he would be frustrated. You can see it right there.
Calm the fuck down. You can see what he's
That's
saying.
the buildup of a number of weeks. This offense has been struggling.
They don't score an offensive touchdown last week. Hopkins comes in to try to calm them down.
Calm the fuck down.
Stuff happens, as we know. Robbie Anderson got to do it in Carolina, with Carolina, the Rams the other day. And the next thing you know, he's on a plane coming to Arizona and joining the Cardinals. And he's in the game right now. 1st and goal.
Yeah, Hopkins at the bottom, one-on-one. Safety in the middle.
Fighting his way is Ingram for a touchdown. Deontay Ingram into the end zone.
Behind that left side, Al.
13 plays, 75 yards. Go.
Behind the Cody Ford. You just heard Kaylee talk about how he has come in for Garcia. Good job here. Watch him take Pete Werner right there, push him to the inside. Humphreys, another good block. And it opens it up nicely for Ingram, who has power to run through those arm tackles.
Well, they're going to go for 2. Analytic schmanalytics. I don't know what it says, but you go with your gut. And this is what Kingsbury's doing right now. 2-point try to tie the game. Murray. It might have been tipped, but a flag comes in here. Hopkins. Was it tipped? Tuttle says yes.
Tuttle got his hand on the ball.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense, number 19. Half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
That's on Harris.
It's a tough ask for Harris is to be out there by himself. He's talking about the tip, but the call was before the ball was thrown.
Exactly. Terry, just briefly, that's the call, right?
Excellent defensive holding. The tip doesn't matter. It's still a foul.
Exactly.
And they have more at the bottom against Harris.
Now you got Corey Clement in the game, the former Eagle. Now you got Murray for the first time tonight taking a snap under center, and he's going to hand the ball off and trying to get into the end zone. The ball came out, and they're going to say Benjamin did score. So the officials come in, they'll take another look at this. Obviously, the scoring play.
Top ball game, guys. We'll be back after the break.
It's good. It was close. There's Benjamin. Take another look here. And does he have control of the ball right there? He has control of the ball, but coming in right there was Roach.
This hits his leg.
Roach.
It's his leg, right?
Boy, that's
That
close.
is.
Terry, what you think?
Now, it would have to be clear and obvious that he loses control before the ball breaks the plane. It's not clear and obvious. It's incredibly tight. This one should stand.
And it's one of those calls on the field.
After review, the rule of the field stands. 2-point tie, good.
Okay. Going at 14. That's up 14.
All right, bro. I
Mercedes.
guess they're taking another break.
Wins.
All right, Andy Dalton. Let's see what he has with 2:28 to go.
All right, to the 25 they come. Terry, come on in.
Now, on this play, there was one other aspect. We have an illegal low block by number 23, the running back. We see the box. He can't block low outside that box. And we see he clearly goes low on the defender right there. That should have been a foul and a 15-yard penalty and takes away the score.
And the interesting thing is that was Clement's first play tonight. He was in for one play, the 2-point conversion. The former Philadelphia Eagle. It's away we won. From the 25-yard line. Begin this drive. Kamara to the outside. Breaks the tackle. And another. And another. And comes close to pick up a first down.
Okay, Ruiz, the right guard, is having a night for this offense up front. First couple years, just kind of finding his way in this offense. And this year, it just seems that he's gone to a whole different level, becoming one of the anchors up front along with Eric McCoy.
2-minute warning.
Yeah, we're going to be back after the 2-minute warning.
It's Thursday Night Football. So a good first 28 minutes tonight. 28 points. As we come back at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Saints. Take an interception. And all the way inside the 10 to the end zone goes Marco Wilson.
Wow.
Marquez Callaway could not hold on.
Wow, bro. That's a turn of events right there.
First interception of Marco Wilson's 2-year career. 38 yards on the run back, and the Cardinals have the lead.
Wilson is at the right spot off of the tip ball that goes right through the hands of Callaway. Andy Dalton threw one pick where he was late and took a chance, and this one on an accurate throw on an underneath crossing route.
Blankenship, who's made 2 field goals.
Oh, my
The
God.
extra point. Go figure.
Wow.
You got man-to-man coverage by this Vance Joseph defense. Look at the separation by Callaway. It's a great route against Wilson. Has his eyes in, reacts a little bit late. He's got it beat. He's got some yards, positive yards. Just goes through his hands up into the air. And Wilson trailing on it's able to come up with that pick. A heck of a flip there into the end zone. Bragged about Dalton and his Saints offense these last 3 games, not throwing the interceptions, not turning it over. Only 1 in these last 3 weeks and 2 here in this first half against the Cardinals.
And both have been huge. One stopped a long drive, and this one results in a pick 6. So each guy with that interception, Hamilton earlier, Wilson now, first of their careers. Wilson, of course, only in his 2nd year, but for Hamilton, crazy, 7 years. And there is the turnover differential. They've given the ball away 15 times. They have only 6 takeaways, so the differential is -9, which is the worst in the league. You know, these 2 teams, it's the way the league is this year. So many close games. You're 2-4. You could be 4-2, but every game just seems to be a 1-possession game. And there are makings of maybe that coming tonight. We don't know.
And when you saw the graphic that says you're last in the league in turnover margin, you're talking about every possession matters. They played good football this half, and they're down 6 at least for now. See what they can do with this last possession. But say you lose games.
From the 25-yard line, Dalton. That is caught. He goes back to Callaway. So the guy who just coughed up the last pass, they go right back to number 1, and he picks up 7. 2nd and 3.
Love to see a quarterback do that and show his guy he believes in him, able to put that play now behind him and keep moving.
Saints have 2 timeouts. Dalton doesn't run much, but when he does, it's normally with some good things happening, as it does right there. As Andy picks up 14 to 47.
Yeah, he is an athletic guy, but he is, up in years, 12th year, but shows that when he sees it, he'll take off and go.
Running a hurry up here. Next one. Taking the line. It's 2nd down and 10 with 63 seconds on the clock.
J.J. Watt trying to get any advantage he can to get pressure. Very close that time to lining up off sides. Not just a hand with that helmet. Remember, Olave, their best threat downfield with Thomas still out of this lineup.
Dalton to the outside, caught. He goes back to Callaway. The Cardinals say no. The officials check with each other and say no.
He ends up catching it, but he's bobbling it as he goes out of bounds. He gets sandwiched between the two defenders, Hamilton on the inside and Thompson from behind. You can see the ball never secured as he goes out of bounds. A heck of an effort to try to hold on to it, but a better job by Jalen Thompson to knock it loose.
Got it right. Back to the 47, 3rd and 10. Callaway's had quite a sequence over the last minute or so. 3rd and 10. Dalton steps up. Picked off at the
Oh my God.
Isaiah Simmons.
And he's
On the
gone.
sideline. Simmons inbound.
My God.
Simmons all the way. They may say Cameron Thomas put
No,
him
no Zoom for me, y'all.
put him out outside the box. There's an official standing back there. They're going to gather and talk about it, but for the moment, there's a lot of celebrating going on. Simmons taking it all the way with 46 seconds. That'll go as a 56-yard interception return. Dalton has now thrown 3 picks tonight, and they're going to go for 2.
That was Dalton's fault.
Simmons, their first pick out of Clemson back in 2020. A look of astonishment on the faces of nearly everybody on that Saints sideline. And the 2-point try right here. Murray threads it. Ertz got it.
Exchange of events.
I said that.
Couple possessions. Andy Dalton trying to get the ball to Olave right here. Watch the pressure that comes from the left side here that affects Andy Dalton. The rookie, Cameron Thomas, beats the left guard, hits him right there, and he just doesn't see Isaiah Simmons, who's just reading his eyes, sitting back in coverage. Now, he gets hit. Maybe he would have been able to get it over top of Isaiah Simmons. But that's a combination by the rookie Thomas getting in, and then Isaiah Simmons cleaning it up and showing you what he can do with the ball in his hands after he comes up with that interception. Come out with a 2-point play. I think he knew exactly where he wanted to go with the ball. How about the location by Kyler Murray getting it into Zach Ertz? Low and away from that defender where Ertz can make the play in the 2 points.
And Arizona's going to get the ball to start the second half. Going out of the end zone. Rashid Shaheed, and then he falls down. So Shaheed has had the 2 spectacular plays over the last 2 weeks. The run last week, the catch tonight. Dustin flag thrown on top of it all.
That flag came late. There's a couple players going at each other near the Saints sideline. Looked like Dwayne Washington from the Saints. It's hard to read these Cardinals numbers.
After play is over, first foul, the receiving team, number 24. After this is the goal.
Dwayne Washington.
It's frustrating, especially when the play is over. You can see receiver, the return man is done, and then after the whistle, that push right there. Then he grabs the face mask as well. I mean, you go from a 14-14 game and a couple interceptions, and look at this.
Well, initially you want to at least try to get into field goal range, but now they push back inside the 10, and that's going to say the heck with it. We go to the locker room. Trying to start the blue. I think they won another interception. They won't get their wish, but they've got enough. So Dennis Allen, his team had a 14-6 lead and 22 unanswered points by the Arizona Cardinals. Cards get the ball to start the third quarter. Halftime. We already have 42 points in the game. You know what that means? What? For some people? Oh, a point and a half from the promised land.
Nice question. That's your question. Who's getting the first one? Oh, the rest of it?
Got touchdowns, guys.
Finally.
Hey now.
Take it.
All right, so Andy Dalton. We talked about it in pregame. They went with him because he was safe. He's anything but safe in the meltdown that we just saw. The Arizona Cardinals only had 2 interceptions today. They injured tonight's game. They've got 3 tonight. What's going on with him?
Well, you look at it really on the very first one, he comes into the game. He's a little late with the throw. Down in the red zone, it's tight windows, tight coverage. He just hesitates for one. Just that hits too long. Get that ball out and maybe put it in a place where this guy can get it. And in this one, his receiver just makes him out to dry, hits him right in the wrong place, right in the face. And it ends up going all the way back to the house for a touchdown. And then this one here, it's some kind of fire zone on from the other side. It's a single high defense. This linebacker sitting in the middle of the field, he just doesn't see him. That's just a bad pass like that. Bad. It's just, you got to see him. You got to understand. He had another one just a second ago before that play where he gets caught in a trap look, holds onto it and throws it into the ground. It was going to be a pick as well. I think the first one happens, you start trying to push it down the field.
And when the defense gets a turnover, you smell blood in the water. You get in rhythm. Then the second turnover, you get a touchdown. Then you're like, oh my God, this is one of those days, and you just feel it in the air. But I put those on Callaway. Callaway, he hits you in the hands, and you drop it, and it leads to a turnover. That's on the receiver. The next drive, he hits Callaway on the sideline.
Over the ball.
If he brings that one in and it stays in bounds, then that's a big play. But We talked about it earlier. If you're going to turn the ball over, you let Jameis play. You let Jameis because your offense is more explosive. You're more dynamic that way. If you're going to have these turnovers, you might as well throw Jameis out there.
Yeah, and Andy Dalton had 3 interceptions right in the first half. In his previous 3 starts, he'd only had 1 interception. Now to the Arizona Cardinals side of the ball, of course, the much anticipated return. He's got 5 targets and only 37 yards. What else do you want to see from him in the second half?
Well, they're working him into the game. We saw early they got him the quick throw on the catch just to get it going, just to get the ball in his hands. They wanted to do that, just to scheme. But then we've had some other plays where the red zone targets haven't happened, and in particular, the play where this is the one where he signals to the other side to Rondale Moore and says, "Hey, run a fade route." That ball's got to go to D-Hop. I love that they're talking it out, but D-Hop reminds him, "Hey, I'm one of the best receivers in the league. I need my touches." Kyler comes back to him, but I want to see him target him a few more times in the red zone because D-Hop is special down there, and I think he needed a friendly reminder from the scoring back.
And absolutely, and that's what it takes. Okay, maybe it's the first game back, so the rhythm and the timing and the chemistry is not quite there yet. But as you keep going throughout the game.
Speaking of talking Fitz, what did you make of that exchange between Cliff Kingsbury and his quarterback?
I loved it. Not because they're yelling at each other. Kyler showed emotion. Kyler finally showed some sort of emotion. And that fires guys up on the sideline as well. You know what that shows me? It shows me he cares. He cares about football. He cares about winning. And he knows how much this moment, this game means for this football team.
And also, too, the reason he's yelling, you can read the words. We can't say it on TV, folks, but he said, calm the down.
Yeah, I understand.
Basically, that tells me that Cliff Kingsbury on the other side, he's getting fired up, too. He's getting antsy. He's saying, let's go. All our jobs are on the line. We want to win this football game. They can turn the season out. If they win this game, like you said, they're right back in this division. That's the passion and emotion you want to see.
Absolutely. It's time now for Electric Moments presented by Mercedes-Benz. This didn't take long for a touchdown. 4th play from scrimmage, Andy Dalton sees a wide open middle of the field, unleashes it deep. The ball travels over 52 yards, lands right in the hands of Rashid.
That was an absolute dive. That was like a handoff. That was unreal.
How about he need 2 offensive touches in the NFL and 2 touchdowns?
All he does is score.
Exactly. All right. We are very excited to announce that next season, Prime Video will be the home of the first ever NFL Black Friday game on November 24th. So start making your plans now to spend Black Friday with us next year. You guys bring the leftovers, we'll bring the football, and also, not only is it Black Friday and we get to have a game, we'll bring you a birthday cake because it's your birthday.
see this balanced attack. They ran it well. They've thrown it. It looks like a really good job. But I also want to see the Saints get back to that mid-zone run they had early in the game. Run, play action. That seems the way to attack these guys.
Yeah, I want to see that. I don't want to see them get desperate. Drop back and try to throw bombs every time. You want to keep doing what worked for you in the first half, and they'll be able to come back.
It's amazing what 2 defensive touchdowns to make the offensive performance look like as well.
Yeah, maybe Jameis Winston too.
Don't forget, Tony, I need you to listen up. This is very important. Coming up in the third quarter, you'll get the first look, you guys, at Taylor Swift's newest project, Midnight. The album drops at midnight, but the trailer drops in moments. The Cardinals scored 3 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes and 28 seconds to take the 28-14 lead at the half. Thanks for watching the Mercedes-Benz Halftime Show. See you after the game.
Next time the showers and social.
No. What's wrong? The Chiefs and 49ers. Come on, come on.
Monday we come, as Cosell might have said years ago, a plethora of points. 28-14. Shaheed, third player of the Super Bowl era with a rush and a receiving team with 40 more yards. So Dennis Allen in his first year, Cliff Kingsbury in his 4th season. The big turnaround in this game was the 1.14-6 New Orleans.
Look. I see.
Fielded at the 8-yard line, Greg Dortch. After the 25 moments ago, Kaylee was down on the field with Saints coach Dennis Allen.
Coach, after those 3 interceptions by Andy Dalton, what was your message to him at halftime?
Nothing, just keep doing what he's doing. One was an unfortunate play on the tip ball that should have been caught. The other one, down in the red area, we got to avoid that one. And then obviously there at the end of the first half, that last one was a killer. I think the game kind of changed there in that 2 minute.
So what are your priorities for your team in the second half?
Compete, come out here and fight. That's what we're going to do. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Kaylee, from the 25-yard line. First scrimmage play is a pass caught by Hopkins up to the 30-yard line. So Hopkins making his season debut tonight has 5 catches for 42 yards.
Coaches often talk about the middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second. The Saints struggled. You just heard Coach talking there with Kaylee. The last 2:28, they're outscored 22-0. Imperative they get Kyler Murray in this offense off the field here on this possession.
Second down and 5. And it's getting too high. We talked about it earlier. The Cardinals, in 6 games, have run only 13 plays all season long with the lead. And these are the first 2 plays they've run with the lead here because they took the lead and they got picked.
Yeah.
So here they are.
Here they're trying to figure this out. You know, we're not used to this. Second halves, they've been trying to get back into games. Interesting to see a team that loves tempo. They believe tonight they can wear the Saints down up front. How do you work with a 14-point lead?
That is not caught by Hopkins trying to get it into him. Chris Harris covers on the play. And it's 4th down.
You see Hopkins there motioning back to Murray, but maybe couldn't see the ball. You just tuning in, and the Saints are down to their 4th and 5th defensive backs. And that ball, I think that's what he was mentioning. He couldn't see the football. It's very unlike Hopkins, even though he's back for his first game, to drop that ball.
Sometimes when your quarterback is 5'10", maybe you don't see the ball.
That's true.
Anyway, first punter tonight. Andy Lee, the 40-year-old punter. 3rd oldest player in the league right now. And not a very good boot. And then takes a sideways bounce and even comes back the other way. It gets covered up at the 38-yard line. So 1 minute into the quarter. J.J. Watt. Here he is. He's postseason.
He's been active tonight against the run and the pass, and we all know his career, but I just love to see him work. 6'5", 288, 12th year. There he is as a pass rusher. There he is blowing up a play, being able to shoot through there and use his strength and his quickness. Trained so hard. You know, just he and his brothers trained like, you know, the most diligent in the league.
Quick toss to the outside, taken there by Traquan Smith. And, you know, and JJ's worked with all of the injuries. He's had to stare with his heart as he shot back into rhythm and then played 3 or 4 days later against Carolina earlier this year.
Yeah, he's just in a different place in his life. You know, at this stage of his career, more of a mentor and a leader, but still very effective as a player. But that was quite a scare, and I think gave him a lot of perspective about this stage, not only in football, but in life.
And his wife expecting at any moment. Mark Ingram is the running back here. 2nd and 1. Haley, what you got?
Al, J.J. Watt has fought through so many of his injuries through those 12 years in the league, but he told us nothing scared him more than when an irregular heartbeat was detected in September. He was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation on a Wednesday and was put under anesthesia that Thursday to have his heart shot back into rhythm, like you said. The next day, he was back on the practice field and played in their win against Carolina that Sunday.
And not only that, but he thought about the fact that his wife was pregnant. He's going to have his first child.
Yeah. It's actually very emotional about it.
So now you've got Hill there. He's ready to take the snap. 3rd down and inches. Taysom Hill, he's going to take it. And picks up 2. Luda Baker comes up to stop him, but they're into Arizona territory. So then Andy Lee, 31-yard punt, helping set them up with decent field position and they're trying to get back into the game.
Carmichael doing exactly what he should do. You know, they had a rhythm. They were doing well with everything until the 2 pick sixes, and they go right back to their game plan, trying to control the front, set up their play action pass game.
It's Hill motioning, sets up behind Dalton. Play action, gets hit as he throws, and that time Luda Baker came in. So Baker made the last tackle, then he comes in and knocks the ball out of his hand, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Nick Vanette, the tight end, tried to slow him down right here, and he's just not able to slow down the quickness of Baker. You see him actually dip underneath the potential block there by the tight end and gets in there. In fact, that throw from Andy Dalton, that's a completion if he doesn't get in there and make that play.
Second and 10. You see him coming in with a mark of 2 and 4. You got Bill back there again. Fires over the middle, wide open, making the grab inside the 20. Goes Chris Olave, setting up a first and goal. This last week's game with a concussion sustained in the Seattle game when he scored a touchdown. Big game for him tonight.
It's tough to be able to match up with Olave in the slot. Turns Murphy completely around. He has such respect for him to go downfield as a vertical threat. The best thing is the ball's out quickly. Helps the offensive line, helps Andy Dalton get back, pitch, ball out, and great separation there by Olave.
41-yard gain. 4 catches, 81 yards for him. Got a fullback in to the outside, going nowhere. Just stop behind the line. Second down and goal. This is a bit of making the stop on the play.
Apologies, I want to make sure I can take some real credit for that throw. I said Andy Dalton Hill has really been known. We talked all first half doing so many different things. One of the things he's not done a ton of this year is throw the football. Only 3 of 5 coming in tonight. So reminding this defense of what he's capable of doing. It's not just about running.
2 for 2 tonight, 48 yards. Ingram is the back. He'll get it. The Dolphin is tackled immediately. Then Neiman, the former chief, makes the stop. It's 3rd and goal.
Red zone for the Saints last week against Cincinnati. 1 of 5. It's been a strength all year. One of the tops. In fact, going into last week, Pete Carmichael had the 2nd best red zone offense. They were 2nd. And then they go 1 of 5, and it cost them the game against the Bengals. Down 14. He needs a touchdown here.
Play clock down to 3. Dolphin hangs in there, throws, and that's incomplete. Traquan Smith had a touchdown reception last week against Cincinnati, couldn't hold on. Byron Murphy having a great year, breaking it up 4th and goal.
Dalton kind of hangs in there, and then throws late, but he actually gets it in there. The ball gets to Smith, both of his hands around the football, and just not able to bring it down. Pretty tight defense there by Murphy, 7.
As Kingsbury yesterday, his best players, first night he mentioned was Murphy. Lutz with the field goal here. Turns into a 28-17 game with 9:44 left in the 3rd on a starry night in Arizona.
This climate is going to open up the roof a lot. Some of the stadiums will attract the roofs, some is always closed. In fact, the roof was open for the last Super Bowl that was played here back in 2014. Seattle and New England. Day and night. Likewise, tonight to the end zone, into the 25-yard line.
Let's go inside the game presented by Burger King. Let's talk about the Cardinals' offensive line. We knew the Saints would sit back and force them to be patient. So you see a lot of pullers up front. Garcia, who's out of the game now. Left tackle Humphreys has been doing a really good job. So they're averaging 6 yards a carry. That's what they had to do against the approach from the Saints defense. Concerned about getting the potential big play in the pass game. They knew they might have to be patient, run, and throw the ball underneath that coverage.
Start from the 25. On the ground here. Gain of a yard for Benjamin. Second down and 9.
Showing that offensive line. That is not an area, since Cliff Kingsbury has been here, you would look at as a strength. And the entries up front, Hudson, the center, the leader, the alpha, this front offensive line, Pugh out, the left guard, his backup, Max Garcia out, Cody Ford in. Like in so many teams around this league, it's been musical chairs up front. But tonight, so far, doing a pretty good job.
Billy Pricey in his first action of the season was center. Number 1 pick of Cincinnati back in 18, played with the Giants last year. And that is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Murray at 5'10", he's trying to reach up as high as he can and get it over the top. It's 3rd down and 9.
And of course, that's the concern up front. Looked like 91 Street got his left hand on the ball to knock that away. Saints defense, again, gets the Cardinals to a 3rd down and try to get off the field.
Reset the play clock. It's either going to be 3rd and 14 or 3rd and 4.
You just mentioned Billy Price. I think he started to fall back before he snapped the ball and lost his footing.
Star. Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty.
There's always a kibosh. You mentioned the guy's name. You talk about a great job he's doing. There you go.
Think about his run that he's been on since 2020 with Cincinnati, goes to the Giants, ends up starting a bunch of games. Last year he's in Las Vegas, and now here in Arizona, he's on the practice squad just 2 weeks ago, and now he's starting.
That was the Cardinals' first penalty tonight. Saints have been playing 5 times. 3rd and 14. Murray protected well, and everybody's covered, and he goes down. Big sack back at the 11-yard line. Granderson and Jordan are both there. It's 4th down, 4th and 23.
The right tackle, Beecham, does his job up front trying to keep Cam Jordan out. That is a coverage sack. You rush 4, you got 7 in coverage. They took everything away downfield, and eventually Jordan in that front's able to get to Murray, push him way back.
Guards back to back 3 and outs. Andy Lee, his last punt was 31 yards. This one is a whole lot better. 32-yard line, going to run it back from there. Shaheed. Inching ever closer to midnight. So now a preview of Taylor Swift's latest projects in anticipation of her new album.
got a granddaughter who's completely over the moon right now.
Dialed in this week, probably waiting for that information.
Oh, yeah. Nobody more popular among the teenage girl group than Taylor Swift.
Big as it gets.
Fantastic performer, too.
Worldwide.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate her everywhere.
Well, the Saints defense did their job. Got the ball back, got a field goal, got the ball back again, close to midfield. Giving Andy Dalton his offense a chance to get right back in this game.
Back-to-back 3 and out. So at the 46-yard line, they start this drive. Play action. Open. And then losing it, did he have control of it? No, Olave could not hold on. And that's Marco Wilson, who had the big interception before. He knocks it away to his second down and 10.
Olave usually sure-handed, but Marco Wilson hit him coming right from the left. As soon as he holds on or gets a hold of that football, 20, that shoulder separates him from the football. He knew it was coming, tried to brace for it, just unable to hold on.
Camara. There, Zach Allen, Marcus Golden. Both converged on the third down and 8 for the Saints.
That's Zach Allen, who he's coaching very high on. Fourth year out of Boston College, up at the top. Watch him use his hands. Extend, separate, and then get involved in trying to slow down Kamara before he can pick up some serious yards. His idol growing up was J.J. Watt. Now he plays alongside on that front.
Golden looks at the play clock. Snaps it at 2. Deep down the left side and incomplete. We got a Olave running down there with Marco Wilson. Pressure put on in the backfield, 4th down and 7. Good work by the Arizona defense.
This is what makes Vance Joseph's defense so hard. They walk up all these defenders and try to make you figure out as an offensive line who's going to come and who's going to drop. And because you're not on the same page, it affects the timing, it affects the protection, and it's a great job of dialing that up and dictating it by Joseph.
First one of the night. Gilligan, and that's bounds out of bounds. And Arizona will
Back after the break.
start the third quarter. Still looking for that first championship since 1947. Obviously before the Super Bowl era. In the 15-yard line, a lot more success recently than in the past. Nashville thinks that, they came so close, Kirk, in the Super Bowl after the 2008 season against Pittsburgh. It's like, what was Arizona even doing in the game, right? They had that magical run in the playoffs. Larry Fitzgerald was fantastic. Kurt Warner, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game. They had the lead. And then Roethlisberger led the Steelers down. Holmes made the catch. And
You and I were talking about that game on the field before, just kind of reminiscing a little bit about some of their teams that they've had. You're right. They were right there. It ended up being one of the better Super Bowls we've had.
And James Harrison had that 100-yard play, which for me is maybe the greatest play in Super Bowl history. That's caught for a first down up at the 26-yard line. Zach Ertz, the longtime Eagle, traded over here in the middle of last season.
Heck of a throw by Kyler Murray. But Zach Ertz can still do it. Find the seams, find the opening, and the toughness to be able to hold on to that ball. Leaves him in there. So Ertz knows exactly what's coming. With DeMario Davis unloading, he does a great job of being able to protect himself because the ball got out early by Murray.
Play fake. Catch not made. And he's busted up by Pete Warner. Ertz could not hold it in second down and 10.
I thought, there he goes again. They're going to go right back to him. A different route. Kind of a crosser. He's going to work across the field here. But what Pete Warner, we talked about him earlier, how he can do so many different things. How about how he locates Ertz, anticipates that he's coming into his area, and then the ball's completed, and then it's not because he doesn't give up on the play. Has that left hand in there to be able to separate it.
5.5 left in the third. Cards up by 11. Second and 10. And long dead.
Follow star. Offense.
Can you just bring my head in?
5-yard penalty.
Huh?
Second down.
Hurts. Luke Hopkins has come back tonight after the 6-game suspension. Early in the game, it's not quite on the same page. That's in the red zone. They come over and they work things out. They talk about it. You can start to see by about the third possession, Hopkins starting to get into a rhythm with Kyler Murray. Even getting involved and making a nice block there on Tyrann Mathieu. So he's settling in here in his first game of the year.
Murray fires. Nice throw for man. There he goes to the 40. Hopkins holding on. At a first down. So he needed 15 yards and got 17.
Knows exactly where he needs to go, and he's got Chris Harris, the veteran, on him. But as a backup at this stage of his career, the first game to start, it gives him a huge cushion. And it makes it very easy that time for Hopkins to come off of that route, cross the first down marker, and an easy throw there for Kyler Murray.
Six grabs for him, averaging 10 yards per reception. Coming around from the outside, Greg Dortch, receiver at 5'7". Ema Hopkins, 16. Street. He's down there, the Saint defensive lineman.
Incredible how consistent Hopkins has been in his career, first with the Texans and then coming over here in 2020, and just it's fitted very nicely with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury in this offense.
That was a stunning trade when it was made.
Yeah.
I mean, Texan fans are going, why? Haley, a little more on Hopkins?
Yeah, I spoke with the performance coach that Hopkins worked with during his 6-week suspension, and Nick Hill told me Hopkins was at the training facility every day at 7 a.m. He was simulating each game week along with the Cardinals scheduler. They've used Hopkins' data from last season to guide his workouts so they can work to match his acceleration, his top speed, and even how many times he would make cuts in a practice or game. Hill assures me Hopkins right now is as strong as he has ever been.
We've watched him for years, especially years with Houston. He makes unbelievable tackles. The catch rate is tremendous and breaks so many tackles. 2nd down and 9. Murray, pressure, flings it to the outside, cutting back in, making a little something out of nothing. It's Benjamin. We get to the 3rd down and short.
Yeah, one of the things that Dennis Allen wanted to do was make sure that they get a good job on obvious passing situations of trying to squeeze the pocket from the outside and then spying him with a linebacker. This time it's Davis. Nowhere for Murray to run and escape to try to pick up a first down. Make him just check it down, get the ball out of his hands because of how quick he can be.
3.5 left in the 3rd. 3rd and 3. To the outside, plenty of room to roam. Little high step in there. Benjamin makes the grab. Forced out by Marcus May, and they convert.
It's miscommunication here. You wonder if Demario Davis maybe should be over here and follow the back to the outside because you'll see the coverage on the right. They clear out. They're playing man-to-man. Well, somebody has to account for the back slipping out of the backfield. Davis there, instead of being worried about what's going on with Kyler Murray, he could have locked up Benjamin. It would have been a much better opportunity for the Saints to get off the field there on 3rd down.
From the 38, play action again, passes a little low, but hauled in there by DeAndre Hopkins. He's got a healthy dose tonight. They've targeted him 10 times. He's scored 7 for 68 yards.
Sometimes Cliff Kingsbury plays a left receiver, right receiver, so they go fast. They're moving him around.
Going fast right now on 2nd and 1. Take the toss. Throw. That's caught. Adjusting. Chris Hopkins turns to the outside. Covered by the rookie Taylor. And then just outside the 10.
There's the timing. Back shoulder fade. This is all about timing. He's going up against the rookie Taylor. Ball's in the air now. Comes back. Sees it in the air. Just a feel there. That's throwing in hours and hours over the years. So you know you have been on the field over the years. That's where your rhythm can really start to work out for you. This is an offense that's been searching for rhythm and consistency. It's amazing when you bring back your best receiver, how that can help things out.
Even if the sign misses a K. 1st and 10. To the outside. And they turn the corner and get into the end zone. Ingram. Yes. Touchdown. Deontay Ingram with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
They thought they would give him more of an opportunity for coming in for Benjamin. He's going to extend and try to get in, but it looks like he's going to be short.
They get back. He still has only 1 rushing touchdown tonight because this one will come back.
But I'd say they don't have James Conner. They don't have Darrell Williams. Benjamin and Ingram together. Pretty effective and a different feel in this running style.
Of course, your
After review, the ball carrier was stopped short of the goal line.
Good.
First down, Arizona.
Unless it's razor thin, that's obvious. Because when it comes to running backs, number 1 is their maybe the best.
Right.
So 1st and goal. Will he give Ingram the ball again to get him in officially? We'll see.
That left side's been opening up some nice holes with Cody Ford and DJ Humphries.
Ball inside the 1. Ingram is the back. Low snap. Oh, he gave it to him, but the snapper is low. So we were talking about Billy Price playing his first game of the year. Hasn't seen any action until tonight. And he puts one into the ground.
And he had a big defensive lineman, Shai Tuttle, right over top of him. And that affects the snap. I mean, it's actually, especially for a baseball player like Murray, he could have handled that and almost looked like it surprised him, the timing of it, as much as it being low.
So Ingram, who was into the end zone and overturned, got it again from the one. And because of the snap, loses 4. Now Benjamin is back in as the runner. And now a half minute to go. And Arizona's going to take a timeout. So it's the first of the second half here. 32 seconds remaining in the third.
Just before the delay of game, Kingsbury trying to get that time out. They've done a better job tonight. These last 4 games, it's been a head scratcher. Counted really half of a second, saves 5 yards.
That's not for the secondary.
No doubt about that. Anytime he can get on the edge, he's always a threat. You know, they're putting a lot of pressure on the defense.
It's moving. Second and goal. Left side caught and into the end zone. Great Dortch. Touchdown.
Justin Evans gives a big cushion, which they take advantage of. He is back off, and it's just a quick throw here. Watch how quickly Murray sees this. He already knows outside leverage because he has help on the inside with the safety man. But that ball got out so quickly by Murray, thrown right where his receiver has a chance with the cushion by Evans, sets it up.
Versus 5'7", third-year man in a Wake Forest. He missed earlier, Mike. He should this one. Hangs it through and with 29 seconds to go in the third. In Arizona.
Thanks.
with New Orleans for a while, Denver, Jets, Buffalo. Barely played, went to NFL Europe, played with Cologne, Montreal, and Winnipeg. He's been everywhere, man. Everywhere.
He's been everywhere, and even before he took this job as a coach, he bounced around. He was out at USC for what, a month?
About a month, yeah. He wound up showing the base there for 20 minutes. Now here, Kelly.
Well, Al, we've got some free advice for NFL teams if Cliff Kingsbury wants to plan 2 decades ahead. Sign them now. JJ Watt's wife, Leah, and Zach Ertz's wife, Julie, have both played for the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. I mean, athletic teams do not get any better than this. The Curtis welcomed their son Matt in August. And baby boy Watt, like you mentioned, Al, is anything now. Zach is already giving JJ dad advice. And the Ertz gift to the Watts for red 99 points.
The great thing getting for JJ is that we get the long week and a half after this one. I'll play until a week from Sunday. Olave makes that catch, picking up about 7.
So now you put the Saints without their a lot of the top receivers, and kind of a 2-minute approach. Don't have Thomas or Landry means Olave and some of these backup receivers are going to have to win and win quickly.
Yeah, 2-minute approach and 15 minutes to go into the game.
Yeah.
1 more second to play here in the third down and 3.
This takes them out of their comfort level. The years of Drew Brees, they could obviously fight right back and give themselves a chance. And this offense, where they are at this stage of the season, they are still a run the football set up play action, especially with the injuries that they sustained on the outside.
Changing it, play clock ticking down. Snap it at 1. Get it away, but it's batted down. And that's going to take us to the 4th. It's also going to give the ball back to Arizona.
Taking a break.
February as well. So 4th down and 3 Al Michaels, along with Kirk Burstein, Caleb Barton working on the sideline. Our whole gang, Fred Gabelli, Peter Musa, Malibu Kelly Hayes, George Hill, the boys for 4 decades, down the wall. It's a punt. It's a beauty. Into about the 10-yard line. Sir.
Let's take a look at our next gen stats powered by AWS. We bragged about Andy Dalton only throwing 1 interception coming into tonight. These 3 starts, so we can see the probability of them winning this game. First pick early, they had a 7-3 lead. Here, 14-14, getting into the first half. Interception for 6. Marco Wilson to get the ball back. His 3rd interception, this time by Isaiah Simmons to the house. In the blink of an eye, 22 points up on the board and a decisive Cardinals advantage.
And decisive current chance of winning, in case you want to say so. I'm saying with an 18-point lead in the 4th quarter, yes, not 98-2. Breaking news. Pass over the middle. Not one-handed by Hopkins. Had to reach up and backward. And it was popped there by Marcus May, 2nd down and 10.
The Saints are saying, we'll take a couple pick sixes to try to affect that probability. Just looking over at the targets, I mean, anticipated Hopkins getting a lot of chances. If you add up all the other receivers and running backs and tight ends, he's almost, at this stage of the game, has as many as the rest combined. So Cliff Kingsbury definitely not easing Luke Hopkins back into the line.
And even though Robbie Anderson, that just acquired one, has been in for a couple of plays, hasn't been targeted. Murray runs into his own man, runs into a lot of traffic, and then he fled.
Holding. Defense. Number 19. 5-yard penalty. First down.
A 12-year veteran, Chris Harris.
So even when he's not getting targeted, he wins. Chris Harris is a veteran, but again, he's been on the practice squad with injuries. He's had to move up. Hopkins setting him up to be able to pull away from him, and Harris realized he was leaving him, so just grabs onto him. Interesting approach. We wondered, they've always been behind. And Cliff Kingsbury tonight, going up against Dennis Allen, has this lead, and they're still even backed up near their own goal line, still throwing the ball.
That's their DNA, or it has been. Benjamin. 2nd down. Standings. Talked about how tight it is in both divisions. So here it is right now. In the South, you got Tampa Bay and Atlanta at 3-3, Saints 2-4, and Panthers are 1-5. Meanwhile, the 49ers and the Rams and the Seahawks are all 3-3, and Arizona trying to go to 3-4.
Isn't it amazing how many teams in this league are either 2-4, 3-3, or 4-2? There are a few outliers that might be a bit better and worse, but everybody's kind of hovering right around 500.
12 of the 16 teams in the NFC are 500 or below at this point.
Yeah.
2nd down and 9. Murray going deep and too deep and incomplete. Robbie Anderson, just talking about Robbie's good for just a couple of plays covered there by Taylor. First time they target him, the former Jet and Panther, 3rd down.
And I think this is what Cliff Kingsbury envisioned, especially with Marquise Brown down, is him getting downfield, take some of the pressure off of Luke Hopkins. That's what he's known for. You see a little pull there at the end. That's what he was asking about when that ball was past him. But 6'3", 190, his reputation, his great ball skills, great deep threat, can stretch a defense. And eventually, I think when he gets more familiar with his system, that's what he'll become.
3rd down 9. In the end zone and coming out of the end zone, doing probably something anyway. Taken down to the 10-yard line. Cam Jordan chased him.
Well, Cam Jordan is right there. And then he hit the afterburners, that burst button. And he just walks away from the potential sack in the end zone. Cam's all the way to the top, beats his man, and thinks he has a chance to get it out.
But Murray still takes that snap.
Turns out to be a loss of 6. And Murray is hobbling as he comes to the sideline. A shot there. And limps his way over to the bench. And now Lee comes in the punt on 4th down.
All of that scrambling, wear and tear that it puts on his body, you just have to see him throw it away, save some of that energy.
Lee's boot. 40-yard line. To Lee. The 46-yard line. Change with the whole Old Town Scottsdale. What, by Camaras, and they'll pick up the 1st down. Okay. So the Green Dolphin basically is the backup to Winston. And, Winston, he can make a lot of things happen, good and bad. But what do you do in 10 days now if you're New Orleans?
I think Andy Dalton, his decision making is critical to the system and where they are within this offense. I think maybe Jameis's upside and his potential, you wonder when he's fully healthy, you give him that chance. But it's all about which quarterback is going to take care of the football. Dalton has been doing an incredible job of that until tonight with 3 picks.
Right. Wasn't no go on by his receivers either. That's Kamara making the catch.
And that may open the door. And you're right. Andy Dalton, like I said, he kind of has that veteran calming effect. Just seems to make everybody believe that he's going to put them in the right play.
We got a 2 and 5 though.
Yeah.
A lot of things to think about. And it's going to be a 1st down as Smith makes the catch there.
I remember this offense is trying to figure things out without Michael Thomas, without Jarvis Landry. Olave came back tonight.
So there it is this year. Each got 1 and 2 coming in. But Winston, 17 points a game, Dalton 30 coming in. And the run pass percentage, as you can see, 2-1 for Winston. Throwing it more on the ground, obviously, with Dalton. Dalton. Dart. That's taken to the 16-yard line by Camara. So Saints trying to inch their way back into the game.
You see, with Camara, he's a difference maker. And right now, the defense is scheming to take him out. They have Thomas and Landry and Olave. It takes so much pressure off of him, and how much more effective he can be.
It's coming, picked up, caught down the sideline, and working his way is Jawan Johnson into the end zone. Exactly what the Saints needed. They needed to do it quickly. That's 17 yards. They had the ball for a minute, went 46 yards, and get back in the game.
Again, they want everybody up at the line of scrimmage. Pressure is on this offensive line, and Dalton knows it, finds exactly where he wants to go with the ball, and what he did is he got it out quickly to Johnson and accurately, which allowed him to make that catch, get the first down, and then he had room on that sideline. He turns the corner and picks up the touchdown.
Beats the rookie out of Cincinnati, I.J. Sanders, on that play. Now Lutz for the extra point. And it's an 11-point game.
All right, we're taking a break, little guys.
In the fourth, from the 5-yard line, Dortch visited the end zone. In the past few minutes, brings that one back. Nice run back. Surprise, surprise, 2022. The Eagles only undefeated team. 6-0. Get them on Thursday night in 2 weeks. Quarterbacks, 500 runs. They were great. Ryan Wilson, Stafford, Lamar Jackson, and Burrow.
Philly is fun to watch right now. Jalen Hurts playing, dialing up, defense, flying around. They believe.
Off this week. 2 weeks Chiefs down in Houston. Here goes Murray to the outside. He's taken down by the neck by Marcus Davenport.
So if you're the Saints, you're taking Murray's run threat. This is an offense that struggles to work clock, struggles to run the football with their backs. All hands on deck to stop the potential of Kyler Murray in the QB run game. Make him move the ball some other way.
Three turnovers, the major difference in the game. 2nd and 6. Murray to the outside. He goes. Finds his man again. DeAndre Hopkins. And it moves the sticks.
Yeah, they're working with the lead and keeping their foot on the gas. This ball's in the air before Hopkins gets out of his break. And he's just playing his first game. Look at the ball in the air. That ball's 3/4 of the way in the air before Hopkins comes out of his break. Great job there by Murray of anticipating that and putting it where Hopkins could have a chance.
Hopkins off that 6-game suspension, 9 receptions, 99 yards.
Yeah. First being back after 6 weeks.
And but off inside, no room there. Then swinging to the outside. Play comes in.
Damn.
Great running there. Benjamin. And the flag thrown. Horse collar here. Like
Personal foul, face mask.
it's a face mask mistake.
15-yard penalty after the play. First down.
On front and back.
Cam Jordan double team, tries to get out of it, make a play, and it looked like the right ring finger may have locked into that face mask and pulled it. 15 yards on top of the run.
An 8-yard run, which turns out to be a 23 net gain, ball at the 22-yard line. Probing on the ground, 19-yard line. Benjamin. So, folks, if you watch the baseball game tonight, Astros lead 2-0 after beating the Yankees 3. It's a 2 tonight in Houston. Saints first drive there. Murray, his numbers tonight. It was at one point 14-6 in favor of the Saints. You have Hopkins coming back off the suspension, catching 9 balls tonight. The Cardinals defense, 3 interceptions, 2 of them pick sixes.
Really changed the complexion of the game near the first half. It was 14-14. And by the time we went to the half, 28-14.
2nd and 7. Taking time off the clock are the Cardinals. Fighting his way to the 15-yard line. That time is Ingram.
Pretty good job up front by this offensive line. I mean, the Saints know they're going to run the football. And watch the push here to give Ingram, again, who's a downhill physical back. Good job, Billy Price, making his first start since he came over from Las Vegas. Ingram holding that ball high and tight, protecting it.
Big play here coming up on 3rd and 3. You got a flag thrown in before the play.
Maybe 12 men in the huddle there.
Too many in the huddle, according to Jerome Boger. Yep.
12 in the huddle. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Yeah, so that's 3rd down and 8. It's a big play in the sense that for the Saints to have to stop him, the field goal is still a 2-possession game. Touchdown is 3
so many players in the huddle.
It's a big 3rd down. The Saints defense, they've got to get pressure. And again, make sure they contain Murray. It was a threat. Sometimes the most effective play is when everybody's covered downfield and he scrambles for a first down on 3rd down.
Spread out. 3 receivers to the left. Let's go, he says. Snap it at 1. Keep it on the ground. Exactly what they needed. Arizona and New Orleans did not need. Benjamin.
They call it a run on the 3rd and 8. He makes a 1st and goal. It takes more time off the clock.
You see him check there? He's checking to the run because look at the line of scrimmage. Saints are spread all over the place. That line that we just talked about doing a better job, double team on the left. Good adjustment and a call there by Kyler Murray. Rolls the dice on 3rd down and long and gets good blocking up front against the light box to get the 1st down.
There you go. I knew you'd use that sooner or later. Running against that light box, it's a good time to run.
Yep.
10 carries, 86 yards for Benjamin tonight. Through the middle. To the 4-yard line. Benjamin again. Jordan in on the tackle. Under 7 minutes to go.
They call it the Saints. Give me the ball. Give me a chance. I think they had a little bit of momentum and confidence that they could get this offense. Kyler Murray's off the field, but you got to give credit to this offensive line. Obvious running situations, controlling things for the most part up front.
And utilizing the clock. 6.5 left in the 4th. 2nd and goal. On the ground. Trying to work his way in there. No, it's a little bit short. Benjamin again. 12 carries, 90 yards. He had one 45-yard carry, 45 yards on the other 11.
So what, man? This kid runs hard. He did at Arizona State, and he's doing it now with his opportunity. He stays there. Look, that's Terry. I thought he broke the plane before he went down. It looks like a touchdown. Maybe.
His butt is down, and then it should be a touchdown.
As hard as he ran on that play, deserves a touchdown.
And they gave him the touchdown. So initially, they were going to spot it outside the goal line, and now they let him get in.
He's going for his lateral quickness and catches the ball out of the backfield. Tonight, we've seen him get between the tackles, over his shoulder, and lateral quicks inside there, and bouncing off of people.
So Connor is out. Darrell Williams is out. So Benjamin with his moment to shine and making the most of it. Blankenship for the point after.
I feel like we made up for 3 weeks of touchdowns.
42-35. I mean, 42-24.
brings 12 years of experience as a quarterback in the NFL, working with some receivers he didn't have a ton of experience with, but he is familiar with 2 minutes and needing points quickly. So see what he can do here in this situation. No timeouts. Got to work the boundary the best he can. Got to think the Cardinals are going to maintain that approach they did on the last drive, just sitting back, giving those underneath throws, letting the clock keep moving.
So a great one. Smith hobble walk after that last catch. Put him in the tent.
What?
So again, minus Thomas, minus Landry.
I didn't say that.
Smith is out. Minus
Yeah.
Tyler.
So I can sit down and
So
relax.
I'm trying to say
Told me
the
to stop it.
And running it.
Yeah, you have.
I would see more of Hill in the second half.
Yeah.
Right.
I think once they dug themselves that hole, it becomes a different approach with their offense. And remember, Juwan Johnson's been making some plays at tight end.
Dalton buys time. Dalton deep downfield has got a man open, but he couldn't get it to him. Alloway got behind the corner. The safety was coming in over the top, but he was there, couldn't get it to him. 3rd and 5.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion on the back end of this defense, and then Hamilton slips. Actually, it's turned around. And no protection over the top. Baker was occupied down the middle of that field, about middle of the field by Kevin White, who's been inserted into the lineup because of Smith being out.
White caught one earlier for 64 yards. 3rd and 5. Dalton. Looking for the sideline, looking for the first down, gets both. Draymond Smith just went to the locker room, so he'll be done for the rest of the game. Here's the play that Smith got hurt on.
Makes the catch. All the weight there, Murphy came down on him for that bang play there. First down. Let's see what Dalton. Dalton, good job of escaping there and getting a new set of downs.
49 underneath Camara. Well, the Cardinals making sure he's not going to get to the sideline, and the clock keeps rolling.
Just leverage the football. Don't let him get to the sideline. Keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 3. Of course, if they get into field goal range, you go both ways here. Camara. Simmons loses his helmet. That'll be a first down. So you have the choice here right now. You want to go for the field goal now and then the onside kick. They're close enough for Lutz. Clearly within his range. So keep going here with first down. Clock ticking to a minute. Dalton pressured as he throws that one away. 60 seconds.
It doesn't look like there's any movement at all on the Saints sideline. Still with a minute to go. No timeouts. Clock stops. Maybe take another play or two to see if you can give yourself a better chance, maybe down to the 10 to 15 or 20-yard line. Maybe take a shot to the end zone.
This is one of the best in the league. You got a 48-yard field goal clearly by his range.
Did they get a cornbread?
What do we know? 2nd and 10.
I get it, man. I'm coming. Huh?
Sanders.
Before the movement, timeout, Arizona. Yes, second. 30 seconds, timeout.
All right.
So